Hey guys, welcome back to the Titan channel. We're going to be diving into some stocks that look ripe for trading this week. This is going to be a short trading week. We just have Memorial Day today for the last day of May, so this is just going to be a 4-day trading week. So keep that in mind when you're trading your contracts, and watch out for theta and things like that. My favorite setup going into this week is actually going to be ABNB. So let's just go ahead and dive in. Alright, so you can see here, if we scroll out on the macro view, went ahead and they IPO'd, last December. And really, it's just ever since making all-time highs, it's just, they had that crazy run. It's just kind of been downhill ever since. And after kind of stalling out and finding a bottom, finding a support, they're starting to make a attempt to kind of start running back up here. And it's really interesting to note here that at 145, they've got 20-day supply here. And it looks like if we can break out over that 145, there's really nice upside to this 159, 165 area. And there's really no reason to be bearish on the stock. It just sold off from a technical perspective. There wasn't really any news for the sell-off. It is also important to note here that we do have, after this first breakout at 145, we need to keep an eye on this 148 to 149 range, which is going to be our 20-day. We haven't been able to reclaim this since, we made a little attempt there. But really, it's been trading below it since, you could say March, end of February, March. So it's had a really hard time breaking out of that. So after we get that initial breakout at 145, should see a nice $3-4 move. And then we just have to watch for this 148 to 149.5. And then if we can, reclaim that area, definitely nice potential up to 160. All right, next name we're going to look at is going to be AAL, American Airlines. If we zoom in here, we just actually rejected the same area that we rejected back on April 5th, which is going to be 24.85. That's going to be a really important spot to keep an eye on. But if we go to the hourly, zoom out a little bit here so we can see it a little clearer. You guys notice that we're starting to form a really nice, as I put here, strong 20-day support trend. So what that means is you guys see that our green lines here is our 20-day moving average. And we started building on it here. We ran up. Every time we pull back, this is going back to May 24th. So what was that? All of last week then? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, all 5 days last week. So this is a 5-day trend now, where we pull back, form a nice base, pull back, bounce right off the 20-day. Go ahead, bounce right off the 20-day. Same thing here, bounce right off the 20-day. Now, we went ahead and we had a nice gap up on last Friday, and then we pulled right back into that 20-day. So let's see how we open up. If we gap up, maybe we pull right back into it. If we pull back, maybe we can wait for this 50-day bounce, or maybe we go ahead and we open flat, and if we hold on to that 20-day, we can go ahead and start a small position and then wait for that 24.85 breakout to potentially add to the position, or use that to trim and wait for confirmation. But either way, there's a nice trend setting up here that we should be able to capitalize on one way or another. We go over to Tesla, almost identical. Going back to really, you could say May 24th, which is, I think, the same day as that AAL trend. You could argue here we had a nice bounce off the 50-day, and we reclaimed that 20-day. We held it real nice right there. What do? We gap up some more. Boom, bounce right off that. Again, you guys see every time we make a higher high, we pull back and we make a higher low, right? So the low point before making a new high is higher than the last time. And that's how we're supporting that uptrend right there. Right, we're supporting that uptrend. This is when you see people draw trend lines, sometimes without even realizing it. They're actually following a moving average just by drawing a trend line. But if we use our moving averages, we can actually see exactly where they're bouncing and why they're bouncing, right? So same thing as AAL, right? Tesla had a pretty nasty sell-off candle there. The last hour of open, or the last hour of the market last Friday had a $10 sell-off there. So let's see how they react to that. There also seems to be a base building here. If we go ahead, I don't know if you guys noticed that right there. We actually go ahead and clear everything out and then just draw that right there. You guys see that? The 200-day moving average, how we're building a base right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 candles we bounced off that. So maybe we go ahead and we pull back into this area. This might be a good area to go ahead and buy the dip, so to speak. Go ahead and catch a bounce on it. There's also a nice spot right here at 636 where we could potentially break out. And if we do, we have nice upside up to 654. So definitely Tesla, big name to keep an eye on. You know, it's always a good name to trade in the option community. So let's keep a close eye on that. All right, so we got down Airbnb, American Airlines, Tesla. Last two we're going to look at is going to be Facebook and BIDU. Okay, so Facebook has been on a crazy run, and now it's just a matter of, you know, playing those all-time highs. You know, let's be smart about it. Let's not just buy the highs to buy the highs, but at the same time, if the volume's there, and if, much more importantly, one of my favorite things to do to confirm a trade when I'm playing a breakout, when a stock is breaking out above its all-time high, is I keep a very close eye on the option flow. You know, is there orders coming in above the ask? Which is an extremely bullish sign. Or is there puts being sold below the bid? Another extremely bullish sign. You know, these are really important things to keep an eye on as we start to break out over those all-time highs. So definitely keep a close eye on that at 334. Watch the flow as we approach 334. And then, you know, if we do sell off a little bit, keep an eye on this 326.6 spot. 50-day moving average right there. Looks like a clean bounce spot. You know, ever since we reclaimed it, we've been trading above it. So definitely a nice bounce spot right there at 326.75, 327. So we'll keep a close eye on that. And then last name, just to wrap it up, guys, is going to be BIDU. Now, we used to trade BIDU all the time. I think the options community in general, you know, if you've been trading options for a while, you know BIDU. It's a nice stock to trade. It's been pretty dead lately, you know, mostly due to, you know, all the delisting fears, and there's a lot of stigma around it as a Chinese stock, but, you know, still can catch a nice breakout on this thing. Just looking at a technical standpoint here, I mean, you know, we've pretty much built a base right under this 200-day moving average, right? And not that I'm someone that really trades based off of these, I don't even know what you call them anymore, like these little shapes. But if you're someone that likes these, I mean, I think that's like a rising wedge or something. I don't know, but it does make sense and it does line up, right? So if you go ahead and you look at this bottom trend line here, we're making higher lows and we're building that base. All right, so this upper trend line here, we're building that base that we're trying to break out of, and then this lower trend line, as we're building up on that base, we're making higher lows, right? And at the same time, we have this 200-day moving average right here that we're looking to reclaim. So it looks like, you know, I'm following this candle right here, and I'm putting that there and saying, okay, that 198 breakout looks nice. You know, I don't think we need to wait for 198.45 just because that happened so long ago, and I'm mostly just worrying about what's happened over the past week or two in terms of the 200-day moving average. So I think 198 looks like a really clean breakout on BIDU. On the macro scale, definitely have upside to about 210. You know, if we follow the Bollinger, even 203 would be a nice move. And what's really nice is when you get different timelines that confirm, right? So if we look at the timeline here, this smaller timeline, we have an identical pattern forming, right? We're making higher lows. We're looking to break out of that 200-day moving average. And in the meanwhile, we're creating that base right there, right? That we're trying to break out of. So same exact rising wedge pattern going on here. Yeah. I mean, it's just a clean setup. just from a technical standpoint, you could be bearish on BIDU just because it's a Chinese stock, but no reason not to trade it if it breaks out of this 198 spot. All right, that's going to do it for now, guys. On Wednesday, we're going to be going live on YouTube, and we're going to be giving sort of a midweek update. So we'll go ahead and we'll recap how Monday through Wednesday went, and then we'll go ahead and we'll answer any of your questions, and we'll give an updated watch list for Thursday and Friday. Well, I guess for this week it'll just be how Tuesday and Wednesday went, but yeah, going forward we'll be doing live sessions on YouTube on Wednesdays. All right, so I'll see you guys on Wednesday, and take care, everybody.